The Power of Agile, hosted by Nagarro.
Welcome back to the Power of Agile, where we explore how agility transforms teams and organizations. I'm your host, Gurpreet, and I'm here today with Christian Muthspiel. So today we're asking, can an agile coach be a leader? They don't have authority, but still guide teams and shift mindsets. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter? Whether you're a leader driving change, an agile pro wanting impact, or an organization weighing coaching's value, this episode's for you. Is influence the new authority? Let's jump right in. Welcome to the show, Christian.
Hi, Gurpreet. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to have you on the podcast today. And first things first, let's start with a fun question. If you had to describe an agile coach as a superhero, what would their superpower be and why?
That's really a funny question. Let me think about it. From my perspective, there are three topics. The first one, supportive. The second one, very transparent in communication. And the third one, it's quite important from my perspective as well, is to be a role model.
I love it. I think you've summed that up quite well. So it sounds like agile coaches are the real life mind shifters of the business world, with some subtle power moves there. So let's get stuck in then. Tell me, how do you define leadership within an agile framework?
The first topic, and then that's the quite important topic, is leading in an agile framework means to have the outcome for the customer in the focus. This is the quite important topic. The second topic is to be supportive in creating the best working conditions for your team. And really crucial is foster your team to have responsibility, self-responsibility, and willingness to make these decisions. But from a leadership perspective, it's quite important to define a vision and also clear boundaries for your teams. The focus is more or less on the strategic level. 5 steps ahead in the future. And leading only via coaching and not by technical skills. That's the major change from my perspective.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. It's got this forward-looking outlook, and I think it really shifts the traditional leader on top idea, right? Would you say leadership is still tied to hierarchy, or would you say it's now about influence, coaching, or enabling people?
From my experience, it has changed in the past. It has really changed, and it was necessary. Leadership is not only tied in hierarchy, it's also part of meetings and teams. Based on my own story, it's really a shift in the mind shift, as a change in the mind shift for the leaders. Especially if you start this journey to this agile leadership, at the first time, from a leader perspective, you alleged loss of control. This means nobody is asking you as a leader what to do next as in the past. This changed totally my role from, let's say, decision maker to a visionary enabler.
Yeah, it really forces you to think and actually manage it correctly.
Yes.
So how would you say agile leadership differs from the traditional leadership style of command and control?
Let's explain it in this way. What is the meaning for agile leadership from my perspective? The first, as I mentioned before, is always customer-centric instead of fulfilling internal processes.
Yes.
That's the major topic. The second one is coaching instead of advising.
Right.
And one really important topic is trust in your team.
Yeah, it goes back into that enabling side of things.
Yes. Clear and transparent communication instead of playing a hidden agenda.
Which immediately removes that hierarchical expectation.
Yes.
Okay.
Communication on the same eye level.
Yeah.
That's the topic. Then leave the right decision in your team. It's not only the decision making is done in the hierarchy, it's also necessary to be done in the teams.
Especially if you want change, right? Lasting change.
Yes, yes. And also to have this responsibility in the teams as well.
Okay.
And also from a agile leadership, define the vision and the rules of the game. And then the team has the possibility to play the game by themselves in these defined boundaries. That's quite important. That, let's say we are playing football and not we are playing basketball. That's the boundary, that's the rule set. That's quite important for the team, that they know what they are playing. And one important thing is also give feedback immediately and clearly.
Which goes in line with the whole Agile principles as well. I'm sensing here that the way in which we see Agile coaches is very much like a facilitator or a servant leadership role.
Yes.
Is that what we're kind of going towards now?
Yes, from my perspective, that's the way we go. Yes. The Agile coach, from my perspective, is a facilitator, and the much more important thing is he's a mindset changer.
Yes.
To the team and to the management as well. And therefore, it's really important to have this role on board.
Being able to influence people is something which is underrated.
Yes.
Okay. And in what ways then can an Agile coach, demonstrate leadership, even though they don't have any direct reports or hierarchical power? How can they, demonstrate leadership?
The important thing from my perspective is to force the teams, to support the teams, to enable the teams. That's a kind of leadership. It's a leadership as a coach and not as an advisor. And also leadership is done from my perspective, via a stakeholder management, especially to the C-level, is the key success factor.
Yeah. That's crucial, I think, as well. What does leadership look like when you can't make decisions for others?
Yes, that's really interesting, because this is also part of my personal development from a hierarchical leader to an agile leader. That's not so easy. Yeah. That's really not so easy. And at the first step, it feels very strange. Why? You're used to decide for your teams. If you have successfully fulfilled this change, nobody is asking you for your opinion for the next step.
Correct.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The second topic is, and that's from my perspective, it's a quite positive topic. There is less customer escalations where you have to jump in as a manager, because the teams are solving the problems by themselves.
You've enabled them to.
Yes, yes. And one of the, let's say, key performance indicators, my personal key performance indicators, how many emails in CC are in my inbox.
That's a really good one.
Yes.
That is a really good one.
Yes, and it's very impressive, yes. And there is the change in my mindset was also to suddenly I had time to do the right things as a managing director. What means right things? build a clear vision for more than a month.
Yeah.
This means not this kind of management by day.
Mm-hmm.
This means like a visionary leader. Constant stakeholder management. That's quite important, especially on the C-level. Then change to strategic decisions on a long term. And the most important thing is focus on communication to the stakeholders, to the customers, and to the team as well.
Yeah, the message I'm getting here is that you get to focus on the more overall details as opposed to getting stuck into the finer details, which can really be time consuming.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. And now let's go slightly off tangent and do a quick fire rapid round then. Yeah?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So short answers only, please. First one, who is your leadership hero?
Leadership hero, it's Jenny Jepsen.
Jenny Jepsen. Okay, tell me why.
She has an interesting way to transform hierarchical leaders to agile leaders.
Oh,
because do it only step by step, based on your own trust to the team.
Right. Okay.
And that's quite interesting to say, okay, start with 10%, raise up to 20%, and if you feel fine with 100%, then do it.
Right. Otherwise, okay.
Otherwise, you will struggle.
Yeah. So she talks about doing it in a more sustainable, lasting type of way.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Second one then. Worst leadership advice you ever got?
This was really a bad leadership advice. But it was awful.
Mm-hmm.
The message was, you are always in front of your team. That is wrong. You have to treat them.
So always being present.
No, it's you have not to trust them.
Yeah. Right.
You have to treat them.
I see.
Push them.
Yeah. You have to tell them what to do effectively. Okay. That makes total sense.
Yes.
And then one word that describes great leaders.
One word is not so easy.
Short answers.
Yes, you're correct. You questioned this. That's quite not so easy. A great leader. Then I take clear.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like it. Okay, and that felt like a good agile sprint there then. So going back into my questions, how do agile coaches build trust and credibility then?
The first and from my perspective, one of the important topics is foster the management.
Mm-hmm.
Foster the leader.
Yeah.
The second topic is live the agile mindset.
Mm-hmm.
In every decision, in every question. And the third topic is be a role model.
Okay. It goes back to that servant leadership, doesn't it? Right. And based off of that then, right, the influence on let's break it down to a daily basis.
Yes.
How does that look like?
From a perspective as an agile coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what does their kind of day-to-day influence then look like?
I think it's quite easy. Constantly asking and constantly supporting the team to travel this agile way of work.
Okay. And do you think then? So just slightly switching gears, do you think agile coaching can coexist with the hierarchical structures that some organizations still have in place today?
From my experience, that's really quite difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because from my perspective, it's a totally opposite mindset.
Okay.
Because in an agile way of working,
you
trust in the people.
Right.
You give them the responsibility to decide, to act.
Of course.
This won't work in a hierarchical organization.
It would just be a constant conflict, right?
Yes.
So what do you then envision here when Agile meets these rigid kind of management cultures? How do you see it?
That's a clash of cultures.
Clash.
That's a really clash of culture.
Okay.
That's really a clash of culture.
And it's just so you don't see it really coexisting?
No.
Okay.
No, that's totally opposite. From my perspective, it's totally opposite.
Mm-hmm. So it's either like the Agile mindset needs to also be at the senior management level, etc., and then
yes, for sure.
Okay,
for sure. And if there is any topic with the management, from my advice would be clearly show this violation of rule set and no lazy compromises.
Okay, so we've explored the fact that Agile coaches cannot coexist with that traditional hierarchical structures. I'm curious to understand now, what core leadership competencies should Agile coaches develop to actually be effective?
Let's say the most important thing is to be aware how to build up an effective stakeholder management. Define the right stakeholders, communicate with them, present the right information to these stakeholders. These stakeholders could be the team as the C-level as well.
Okay.
That's quite important. Yes?
Yeah.
Not only focus on the C-level. The second skill from my perspective is a clear communication. That's quite important.
Absolutely.
Especially to have this skill for the right level. You have to communicate to the C-level in another way as to the teams.
Knowing your audience, right?
Yes, that's the topic.
Yeah.
And I think the third skill is to have this, let's say it, feeling what's going on. What's going on in the team, what's going on in the management. It's like a feeling.
Trust your intuition.
Yes, that's the topic.
Okay, and within that then, how important would you say emotional intelligence, conflict resolution even, and the overall coaching mindset?
From my perspective, these are the key success factors for an effective agile coach. Emotional intelligence, like I mentioned, this feeling, conflict resolution, especially not to be part of the conflict.
Yes,
it's like in a coaching role.
You should be neutral.
Yes, neutral, but foster also decisions in a neutral position.
Yeah, foster some sort of resolution.
Yes.
Okay. And then we've spoken about the key characteristics that can make an agile coach be effective.
Yes.
I'm curious, is there a way in which we can measure the leadership influence?
Yes, for sure. As we discussed before, from my perspective, there are two typical KPIs. The first one is delegated decisions to the management.
Yes.
And also escalations, the amount of escalations to the management.
So that instantly tells us, like,
yes,
it's a whole different set of KPIs.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a quite easy and let's say the management can feel these KPIs.
So it's something that speaks for itself instantly.
Yes.
Right?
You do not need any scientific KPIs.
A lot of data around it or anything.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And is there anything that you'd say which, like, business leaders should expect to see when coaching is effective, and that coming from the client side more than anything. So obviously what we've just mentioned is internally within the business, right?
Yes.
But when we're looking at it from the client angle, what would be a good telltale there?
I think the customer satisfaction is one of the major topics. Less escalations, as we discussed.
Yeah.
And if you have a look on a team where the customer and the team is working together, if you cannot divide the customer and your team, then you got it.
Okay.
Then they are working like one joint team.
We have no silos.
Yes.
Yeah. We've touched quite a bit on the KPI side of things,
yes.
right? And also around the skill set. One thing that comes to mind immediately, and I'd be curious to understand,
yes.
is can Agile coaching be effective leadership in a highly regulated industry? Or would you say it's quite limited here?
From my experience, no. It's possible to have this agile mindset or way of working in a regulated industry as well. I have done this very successful with a software company in the banking environment. From my experience, the major topic is to define only the boundaries of the regulation.
Okay.
That your team are aware about these rules and can integrate these rules in their decisions. That's the important thing. Because there is no discussion to do not fulfill these rules.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, right? One of the key things is, of course, drawing the boundaries.
Yes.
And as long as your team knows not to go outside of that.
And the quite important thing is to play it open.
Okay.
You cannot change these rules. These rules are part of the game.
Yeah, there is no bending them or anything. Okay. But so you've got experience with that already, and you've seen it work in a highly regulated environment.
Yes.
Okay. And on that topic then, right, could Agile coaches move into formal leadership roles, or would you say their power is most effective when they are positioned more informally?
From my experience, the full power is on the informal side.
Looking into the future now, would you say the future of leadership is more like coaching as opposed to managing?
From my perspective, definitely coaching.
Okay.
Really, really, really. You get better buy-in of the teams, higher motivation, self-organized teams with self-responsibility, and the major topic is a quite higher customer satisfaction.
And would you say then that, for example, Agile coaches and leaders will eventually become the same thing? Because I see leaders positioned also informally to an extent.
That's a quite interesting question, Gertrude. But from my perspective and my experience, no.
Okay.
Because these are two different roles with different tasks and different responsibilities.
Okay. And what would the different responsibility? How would you distinguish those different responsibilities?
As I mentioned before, the difference between an agile leader and leader in a hierarchical way is that the leader have the responsibility to have a vision, to have a long-term plan,
right,
and to have this stakeholder management, let's say, more on the customer C-level side, as on the team as well, but more focused on the C-level on the customer side.
Right. So they've got a vested interest in the client side of things. Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. And then final question for you then, Christian. What advice would you give to Agile coaches who want to expand their leadership influence?
I think about it. Educate with leadership skills. Understand the role of a leader as a stakeholder. And there's one easy sentence: walk in their shoes.
That's a really good one, actually. Yeah. It's the best way to channel what you really need to do and stand out. Okay. Well, that wraps up today's episode of The Power of Agile. Huge thanks to you, Christian, for sharing your insights on whether Agile coaches can truly be leaders without formal authority.
Thank you very much, Gurpreet. It was a quite interesting discussion. It was a real pleasure for me.
It's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast, Christian. If you've enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share with your network. And if you have any thoughts or questions about today's topic, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep influencing, keep coaching, and remember, leadership doesn't always wear a badge.